Lah bisa bang stream. Lah mulai bang streaming bang.
Alun. Bang kawasan overlay loh. Ano?
Bisa duo bang. Sekaligus.
Hah?
Sekaligus streaming di Twitch, YouTube. 5W bisa langsung.
Pakai apa namanya tuh?
Yang kirim di Discord lah, di restream.
Oh. Itu bare ya?
Nggak bare dah. Cie key ya bang. Cie apanya? Cie OBS nya. Cuman pakai stream key nya dari restream. Cie stream bisa YouTube, Twitch. Hal itu banyak punya aplikasi streaming kan. Siapa tu lo tang kita tahu si TP nyo double strip kan. Dipinjau ni baru. Di strip tu.
Ini orang main lah.
Hah?
Bukan orang Indo lah, ada main kat mandi ni mau orang lah iya. Iya, orang.
Banyak lah yang loading mah.
Iya, kawanku juga begitu. Udah bisa masuk tapi mental keluar terus kecil. Talai paling update mas.
Update ada tu ya. Katang update apa? Yang terbaru kan. Dari Kenapa.
Barang kan.
Dah ada nampak juga nampak tak update ke.
Jauh. Kawannya bukan pintu itu David tuh. Bukan pintu itu David juga. Kawan kan ditembak di belakang dia. Kenal kawannya. Nanti bang, dia cancel lah tuh. Cina itu.
Cino bacot lah.
Iyo. Ada nih piwe mau fuck. Pakai logat Cina dia. Masih coba lah.
Enggak, mencari Nemo. Sampai stream.
Jaringannya lo ada update ya dah, upgrade ya dah.
Ah, lu bang?
Lon.
Kepada bang upgrade darinya?
30 boleh.
30 barat. Moto ya.
Iya. Cuman bang yang apa kok sih mah? Yang 20 kok kan sampai ratihan kan? Abang 370 apa ya? Cile di Batam ya nggak pakai PPN dah. Nggak ada pajak di Batam dah.
Oh di toko ya lebih kurang setia.
373. Hah.
Nah IE nih. Lah parah lah kini yo playernya. Batang sih udah 5 lah. Nah. Kedua.
Got a feeling. Let me watch this spot.
Gimana cara masuk sortir apa?
Sortera
Portugis pernah. Sedemi.
Turkis, Brazil. Yang di mana Nemo?
Iya.
Di
Nggak salah. Cara masuk.
di titik 3 tuh. Potato bahasa Indonesia.
Tujuh orang.
Tuh sampai. Siapa banyak di sini? Mister AIV. ATV. Ada komen.
Bot mau.
Maybe that. To be honest, guys, it's this one. I only about 17 years. Yeah. Everything will be up.
Total viewer.
Ya.
Oh, ada dulu.
Terus kan ada kan?
Ya, ada dulu.
created this beautiful logo for my bike shop with Wix Logo Maker. Check it out. Go to Wix.com.
Let's go this way.
Gotta hop up here. Joke.
Baru warna CSGO kayak.
Warna apa bang?
Pakai skin aja gini ya.
Let's go.
Cukup di Twitch. Rasa dan tampilan tuh.
Di mana dia di Twitch?
Ya.
Oh, udah kini turnamen.
Tuh.
Yang ESL.
Ya. Pakai skin gua senjata nyokin ya. Gua gambar gua.
Inferno, he gets him out of a lot of difficult situations. So good at clutching on this particular map. Another gun round comes through. He gets across the ball for the terrorists, and Kenny S inspecting towards second middle.
Oh, masih lama.
Yeah, teammate trying to protect him, but unfortunately,
Udah lama
the AWP's drop and
Nah,
Jax
cuman
makes
kalau
up
sampai
against
smoke
himself, and he might want a bit more
smoke
out of this.
warna itu udah saya lihat
Has
bang.
been taken down as well. Think to the initial
Oh ya smoke-nya ya
segment
lah.
of the round, and they will follow up, but it's a 4 versus 2
Wah,
in favor
skin
of the
AKM
front
tuh
side
ah.
here. They
Tiga
really
tuh
are coming
kan.
to life.
Iya, iya.
The latter stages of each half so far.
Kalau yang
Absolutely.
AWP
So, yeah,
itu,
MIBR, every time it
itu
seems
nggak
like
ada
they're
bang.
starting to
Coba
run
itu.
away, G2 just reins them back in slowly, and I have to give a lot of credit to Lucky on the second op so far in this half. Good position for he'll find body as he works out from the boiler doorway.
Si bertahan.
He had 8 HP as well, surprising he even goes back. Just playing
Awal mana sebelum match, Luando aku FPS aku lado ya. Bagi peta ya.
Prospect for G2 here, and they're going to play one player towards the library very defensively, not actually on the outside, just watching for anyone crossing toward the bomb site. So it's Lucky with the AWP. I'm going to get one out of this, maybe both. He gets the initial shot, doesn't have to repeat this, just got the information, stay alive, but does give himself up to cold zero.
Gets the right, but he's tagged to 22 immediately after from the player in the pit. That's Jax. They're going to divide this up 1-1. They know he's tagged, so they'll hold each bomb site. They do not want to give another bomb plant to MIBR because they know they're broken
Apa?
as
Main
well
CSGO.
Ya,
At
baik.
13 to 9, they're within range. Swings around, he gets Jack's bomb to be planted now inevitably. 18 seconds, tons of time to realize he's wide open and all alone. As Sharks will rotate through mid as well. He'll go down Banana to get there.
He's got a smoke, an HG, but he has no information as to what position Shoxy will approach from. He's actually chosen top of middle here. Shoxy has no kit, so he can't be as methodical and as slow as he would like. He knows he had the advantage. Coldzera is tagged up, but will he be able to protect him towards that graveyard?
Still working in. Good find, but not enough. Sharks got a shot to return. The all will win it out, and no question he has time for the defuse. So it's going to be 9, and again they're going to be broken, but a bomb plant down. If I'm not mistaken, 4 rounds, interval 3. So 3 with 2 bomb plants, a little bit of extra money. The bomb plant this one mattering more than the last. They've already spent
itulah,
that
bang.
money, but
Asik
they're going
itu
to
ya.
be very tight.
Itu.
Adalah
aku mau ada bang.
versus 2 that comes
Ya,
right
ada
down to 1 versus 1.
CS,
So
tahun
close,
itu pada main
getting
seru
himself towards
ramen
the
kadang.
graveyard and stay defensive. Might have been to catch him off guard. Up at the peak, he had a bit more HP, probably wins it. There's Jax at the start of the round, protecting Kenny S as you saw that. He went down, but still, they win the round. Not a huge deal, but Coldzera does get the plant through. They've got about $4,000 per player right now, but a couple of them hovering around 3,500. They might not go for the full commitment here on the
Mungkin
MIBR
saya
side.
takut boleh pada siang ni saru
Discuss their options. It's their turn for a tactical timeout here. This seems to be rounds in a row going in for G2.
Saya mau jadi standar ya.
A massive amount of pressure this round. They don't have to commit
Itu
to
lagi
this.
sih tau.
Still live.
Akan nyasar ya tau.
On AK's coming out again.
Itulah, bang.
Coldzera's really good
Destinasi
right now. He's
pindah-pindah,
25 racks. He wants to cause damage. It's cost him every dollar
Kan
he
bisa
has.
dibawa bang.
That's
Karena rasio besi
so they get the plant down again.
bisa dipasang suasana. That's
back out. Try and go beyond that. He's going to get aggressive, get all the way down, clear out Cubby as well.
Pasta
He
sekali
supports him getting in
sebulan
that
sekali.
position. He'll stay there for
termasuk
now. Shox is almost in a one and done, so as much as they have
Pasta,
information, it's not like he's
nanti
peeking
Pasta,
for it.
Karyong,
He's waiting for them to arrive, so they can't
Sebulan lah
rotate the
Karyong.
third player off of it.
Di
Very
laptop.
passive this time as
Yo.
well from Body and Kenny.
Ano kan pakai OBS kay
Mid-wall.
main games.
As such, MIBR doesn't have an easy time to get toward the bomb site.
Hindi
And
ko tahu.
Salah aku. Setahun lebih aja.
hold on the AK. They're relying on it. They really want
Bang,
to
bilo
what
terakhir
they
itu.
had in previous years. And you know what? So far today, he has 25 kills. He's well ahead of everyone else. The next closest on 18, both from his side and the other. Shox, Lucky, and Fallen all on that
Boleh
total.
tepo deh. Rapi mana apa?
Speaking of Lucky, he's the one that needs to step out now. Pull some of the aggro away from Shox for exactly that reason, because they're all over. What a reaction from Cold. That AK, he gets both, and they're not lined up. That's not a lineup. That's two taps at different angles.
I told you, Cold Zera on the T side of Inferno can be absolutely wild. We'll see whether he can continue the form here. And
PC untuk streaming itu nggak harus pakai VGA kan?
Jax towards top of middle.
Kau nak cari ada pakai PGA aja nak nampak.
To find the next kill.
Kalau yang
Perfect.
cari
Had to be
di
active at the start of
YouTube
the
kan?
round. It's worked out for him. Falls back towards the box.
Kalau
So, yeah,
yang
can he find Taco as well?
kalau
So you have to drop
kalau
the
lagi
smoke from Molotov out. We'll
kayak
see.
i7 itu atau i5 yang laser di capo
Jax though, Kenny's blind, but
nggak
Jax
perlu
throwing out
VGA
exactly
lah.
where
Cuma kalau ini untuk grafiknya lebih apa,
he
VGA.
takes down his
Untuk
teammate, but
paling
he
yang
might still get
kerajo
away with
pun.
this.
Ya, ya.
Yang perlunya untuk i7 itu CPU sama RAM dulu itu sih yang penting coy.
It's 13-10, no money, but he keeps the AK-47. And they'll be able to buy around that, so it's actually not the worst case in the world. He's still got a bomb plant down
Soalnya nggak ada
for
mana
personal money, but still nothing beyond
merekam
that.
saja sih.
G2 have broken double digits at this point. We'll see if they continue here. That was another partial buy from MIBR, but they had the AK. This fantastic work from Cold Zera. That's absolutely beautiful. Not enough time to win out the round though, and killing his teammate. And it must have been a moment of madness. Quite open there. CT is just so in the zone.
Yang punya bang tu agak lag sekali ya, nampak balik ya.
To win around off that one. We'll see.
Jaringannya
This
mah,
one continues. Plays around once again.
jaringannya jauh ya.
Savama.
Sedang main streaming di PS,
Fine.
kan lebih
Lucky.
biasa dari PC lah.
He's
Yeah.
willing to take aggressive duels
Nggak
now.
bata kadang main menit sakit itu main.
That's a skill that, sure, I knew he was going to be playing on the double op.
Bitrate cuma 2300 itu kawan, 2500 lah lah
Doesn't
bari
have
yang
it to work
tempat
with
dong.
this time on B, so he held the angle for the boost at mid wall. He's backed off this time.
Berarti nak masalah dia
directly
pun
into
apa,
Evo, so he's
jaringan
very
berarti kan?
passive on the B side. No one, in fact,
Yo.
in Banana at all. And Phelps is going to welcome himself to that. He's starting to check that out. So watch to see if MIBR falls back with that information. 4-man rotation to A. Phelps might just make contact. If he does, and they wrap, they've got to get by Body, because they could have exploited a mid to B split. The problem is, that's exactly where the second player from A is gone, so they've got to say it's Body's run out of ammo. That was another kill. He tries to get it back in.
Damage, it seems. Body pulls back up in KDS. The AWP not landing. That's many shots with the USB certainly is. They got the bomb down towards the archetype. 5 versus 2. KDS is just
Dari stream tu lah tu rupanya pilihannya dia.
G2 here. That's not looking too good for MIBR. This is where they
Kan kalau wait kan ada dari stream tu di bawah.
lose a couple of clutches. Their Inferno T side can be questionable at points. It's been the case for a couple of years now. If they have the momentum and everything's going great, it looks fantastic. As soon as they get hit with a few rounds, a couple of resets, they start to drop off. G2
Mental
is
now.
certainly back in this game
Today,
now,
bang.
as KDS is finding his confidence too. 18 kills to his name. You see him getting fired up. Needs a lot. We've got a lot to prove at this major, I suppose.
Kenny is known, I mean, you go back to 2015 in Cologne, the major. They didn't quite win in the final. He was crying on stage. He's been in games before where he's playing absolutely out of his mind, and you wonder how the hell he can even aim the mouse because he's shaking with so much adrenaline. He's been on both sides of the emotional table in terms of upset and jubilation, but now it's just about taking a lead for these guys, and if they can beat MIBR and go 2-1,
Yeah.
that's remarkable.
Inferno
For both
again.
sides. For G2 and for MIBR to be down 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's weird that MIBR, these best of ones, keep landing here. Like, from the results and the games we cast, it just doesn't seem like a spectacular map for them. But either way, It is going to be a partial round once again. CZs and Deagles. We saw what KennyS was capable of with the Deagle previously. And unfortunately, folks will now have a chance to show us what he's capable of. The nades land and take him down.
That's a pretty good read, because they threw a Molotov, which was early. You'd expect no one to be up that high in Banana, but they thought there was a chance one got by, so they nade struck the top of it, thinking if they got any damages all from the Molotov, they'll get him. So they actually worked that out pretty smartly. Fur with one on body, but burned from the grave. Bonnie gets revenge. It's the advantage still then to G2.
Couldn't really access the bomb so there at all. They were going to commit towards B, but the Molotov held them off. Jack's in second middle, waiting for this retreat. Nice shot from Taco. At least makes this run possible for them now. He has the AUG at this point, smoking towards the arch side. It just about blooms in time. Goes down to 45, and he has the bomb on his back. His teammate coldzera waiting towards B, looking to take down this low HP Lucky. He might be able to do that, or to sneak through spawn and see if he can pincer the A side.
Deagle. Inside water already. Can actually catch Lucky off. He had no idea he was in that far. He was still watching the entrance point. Doesn't want to go get the gun, smartly so. Smokes it off. That would have given him a chance to get there perhaps, but didn't want the risk of getting sprayed down. And Kenny's already spotted that he's gone toward ruins. He himself, though, tagged to 55, has to be very careful and aware of the fact that Taco should be arriving at any point. He has, and he'll plant with 8 seconds. He knows there's a gun in the back of the site. And he's got the AUG to work with. Cold. Kenny's already spotted him, remember. He's just holding ruins. That means Kenny either has to go aggressive with the AWP and catch off Cold, or work back around and go CT. Cold figures he's still there because Taco's not Cold. He's gone any further. Gets the Deagle shot. Shocks might just be able to grab the AUG and work his way out. Not a ton of money on the CT side, and Cold's denying that as well. Spectacular.
That's his 30th kill. They come in with a partial buy, and we know they can be dangerous with the pistols, but coldzera's Deagle sometimes can be absolutely world-class, and that's a perfect example of it, as he manages to pick them off one by one. Lovely awareness as well. They're in a 2 versus 3 situation. He crawls in towards B, knowing that one player's there. He's got no health at all. Gets himself towards the pool position, waits for his moment, and at this stage, manages to juke out KennyS there and finish off Shocks as well. Absolutely astonishing work. That's to be 14-11. Another buy for G2 here. Had a lot of rounds in a row, but they have been close. Scoreboard's coming through. Body 12 and 21.
Tapi masih delay tu
6 of 7 opening duels for them.
Tak takluk dah.
MIBR just 2 rounds away. Kenny, he's going to fight forward. Off behind. This position's brilliant. They're going to want to get away cleanly as well. And with the boost, they get one, but Body, there you go. That's much better. Turns it around and finds 2. Fallen and Taco go down. They spotted one at the top of the stairs, not the other. And it is just Cold and Phelps to go against Lucky at B. Oh, he's fully blind. Phelps just barely spotted. Just barely got the vision back. He'll go down before he reaches safety. That's all on it now.
It really is. He certainly can get up down here. Probably as good as it gets. We'll see. As he holds up, looking for that plant. They're going to stick together. Surely he can't get both. There's the first, but won't suspect the second. As soon as he goes to this plant, he'll be taken down.
I thought he was going to repeat it. I thought he was going to absolutely style on Lucky. 14-12. The important thing to note about that, 5 rounds in a row, that's a full reset. So MIBR, they're fortunate because the round they won, they didn't invest in to have some residual cash. Fallen. He's got 44. He's not quite in op range. Cold has 57. They've gone for the solo away kill. Okay, we're going to get 2 this time.
You can't really argue the results. If coldzera's playing like he is, and he's confident, says, I want to buy this, I want to give it a go, you just let him get on with it. It's a really scary prospect at this point. If you give this round up, you'd have to take an eco next, and that'll tie things up at 14-14, but they're looking to answer back quickly here.
Yeah, they want to break G2. It's not a bad call, because they've got 2 rounds. If this was 14-13, I'd say take the save, because otherwise you run the risk of giving them that point. So they've got just enough to do this. Now, whether or not it pays off, that's another story. Fallen is going to be selfless as well. He bought the AK. He's got enough skill. We know that to play it, but he gives it to Fur, the other explosive player on the roster. Back to the old MIBR. Certainly showing signs of it. Like you say, 31 kills for Cold. That's more what we're used to.
That is much more like it. But can he make it dense in round number 27 here? It's 14-12 in favor of MIBR. They've got towards the end of the apartment and Body just waiting for flashbangs here. Aggressive position. Taken back somewhat. KennyS watching middle. Terrorists do have a couple of smokes and flashbangs here. As they'll flash towards middle now. KennyS does miss a shot.
Oh my. I am so surprised they get out on this because they had 4-man with crossfires on both sides of mid, and yet it falls apart. Shox gets one back on Fallen, but the explosion from the apartments is what's going to win them this round. Unless Shox can somehow get in, he's got to be so sly. Smokes down toward Library. He pretty much has to hold his position because he has no teammates. Lucky wants to push to get him information. He wants to try and get through the smoke quickly. The kid is on his back, however. So if he goes through and dies, that's further that they have to go to get the defuse. And look at how many players are inside the site for MIBR.
They're waiting for that flashbang shot. He makes his move, but only good for one. The stack on the site completely shuts them down. But coldzera, he will continue to find frags here, and it looks like Kenny S will be removed as well. How many kills is this boy going to find? 34 now, and another partial by victory to find the 15th round for MIB.
And it breaks the bank. G2's got very little to work with. That's a brilliant call, the force buy on that round. And again, it comes from the fact that they won with little weapons. Cold gets a spectacular, a phenomenal deagle round. It gets them an AUG that they carry over. That little bit of extra money. Sure, they'd lose the next round, but it means that's one more gun, essentially, they didn't buy, and it showed, because Cold had 5,700 last round. AKs and UMPs, and a victory, perhaps for the map as well. Just one to go.
He turned up the play today. Oh my goodness, still regulation. He's got 34 kills. Presumably they close it out here. coldzera has been on an absolute Counter-Strike clinic today. Always does an Inferno. I'm not super confident in MIBR's ability as a team to play this map, but him as an individual, he always seems to pull out all the stops. All for Fallen now, up against not a lot to be honest. G2 with 1 M4, 3 pistols, an SMG, bare bones utility, and no kits. You can see how low they are. No helmets purchased. Won't be a big deal against these AKs. It's still indicative as to where they're at right now, as MIBR look to close things out with a B execution here. You're going to see Shoxy, the only rifle, playing the B side. He has no grenades map. Nothing at all. If he multi-frags this, he is a god.
Smokes, flashes, Molotovs. Molotovs, we know this is exactly what MIBR used to do in the old days. You clear out both orange sides, and the addition of Emo, they've got that back. This is old school. This is 2016 strat from MIBR, and it's worked out perfectly. They knew they only had to worry about the middle of the site. That's exactly where Shox was.
That's exactly what they're trying to do, just eradicate all danger around the bomb site. They can focus and hone in on the key points of our Molotovs. This should be it now. That's the only rifle going for G2. It is map and indeed match points, as now the retake begins with UMPs and pistols.
This game's got an old school feel to it. G2, Kenny and Shox performing. You've got old MIBR back in form and with the victory, 16-12. Not to discount the Youngblood either. I'm impressed with Lucky and Jax, both of them finally having a better game than we've seen so far, but nonetheless, it's 2-1 for the Brazilians, and I do think overnight they definitely made some adjustments and talked things over. Maybe Taco was right. Maybe it was a little bit of nerves getting back to an all-Portuguese-speaking lineup.
Well, coldzera certainly wasn't nervous at all. He finishes the game on 34 frags and 18 deaths. He was the absolute powerhouse behind the team there, making sure the clutches came in their favor, and that wasn't an easy game. G2 didn't roll over at all. They lost both pistols. They managed to have a resurgence in both halves and actually had some excellent gun rounds. They can take a lot of information away from that and hopefully build upon it. They're 1 and 2 now, but not out of the tournament.
Exactly. Not out of the tournament. They switched to best of 3s. In fact, both teams switched to best of 3s. All deciders and all elimination matches are exactly that. In other words, today, with the one-on-one matches, are the end of our best of 1s. We have got one going on the B stream currently. We've got one more on either stream, and then we get to judgments. There'll be some teams going home.
It was a matter of time, and it's happening faster than we expected. But things are not looking good for the ninja that we know and love to hate in Fortnite. Everything that goes up must come down. All good things must come to an end. But the truth is, Ninja's numbers are dropping alarmingly fast, and the spotlight looks to be over for the biggest streamer and gamer we've ever seen. Any massively successful streamer or YouTube you've known probably had their time to shine, their 15 minutes of fame, as we like to call it, and then they started to dip down. And then they dipped lower and lower until they weren't even talked about anymore. People stopped following them on Instagram or Twitter, and eventually they just became kind of an, oh yeah, I remember that guy. YouTubers like Fred and Ray Williams Johnson used to dominate YouTube like 10 years ago, and everybody who spent any time on YouTube knew who they were. Now we forget they even existed. Sky Does Minecraft and iBallistic Squid had tens of millions of views every month. from playing the biggest game in the world at the time, and now they both lose hundreds of subscribers every single day. So will Ninja be just that guy with blue hair who played Fortnite with Drake? Or will he somehow overcome this fast, embarrassing decline? Just a handful of months ago, Ninja did something we probably will never ever see again. He set the all-time Twitch subscriber record at around 263,000 subscribers. Twitch themselves probably never thought a number like that could ever happen, and just in subscribers alone, like that could ever 1,000 subscribers. Twitch themselves probably never thought a number like that could 1,000 subscribers. Twitch themselves probably never thought a number like that could ever happen, and just in subscribers alone, Ninja ended up with probably somewhere over $900,000, and this is just in March 2018 alone. That's more than most people will make in 10 or 15 years of work. His popularity on Twitch, of course, made all of his social media blow up too, but especially his YouTube, where April and May brought in over 400 million views. To put this into perspective, Logan Paul, who was dominating across the board in popularity, and everybody who spent time on or at the time off YouTube, including us, all knew his name. Of course, disliked by many as well, but he was able to only get half of Ninja's views in those 2 months. Remember, Logan Paul was YouTube. He's known for it. He built his business around the platform, and then some Twitch streamer came in and had twice as many as his views, and not even on their main platform. That's how big Ninja was. And in case you're wondering, Ninja's 400 million YouTube views probably brought in over $1 to $2 million just in those 2 months alone. And that is just revenue money. This doesn't include his epic support a creator code, like mine, that is that Denver guy YT, wink wink, or the donations that poured in every second of every hour he streamed day after day, to the point that he actually had to increase his minimum notification alert amount because people got so annoyed by the constant animation and sound playing. To put it simply, Ninja was the king of both Twitch and YouTube, and nobody thought he would die down this fast, especially not within less than a year. He played with Drake, which Drake, by the way, was the one that wanted to play with Ninja and used to watch him live when taking a break from making music. And Ninja even played with famous professional athletes like Juju Smith-Schuster and Baker Mayfield and tons more. But everything that goes up must come down. All good things must come to an end. This is where Ninja is at now in January 2019. It's not a huge surprise to some of us now that Tfue has risen to power, overtaken Ninja as the #1 streamer in sub count, but it is a surprise that all of this happened in about 3 months. Ninja can go from a record-setting and probably
Anthem?
Hah?
Main Anthem?
Ya.
Lawan Mali ba?
Cari orang.
Oh, cari orang. Kalau wala Mali.
Pada balik salah apa lah ya. Ano mo tu? Kayak subscribe ta 2,000 sebulan lah. Sampai main $1 GB free.
Million views in January. In no way is 60 million views small, but this is the Ninja we are talking about here, the guy who just about became a household name as a gamer and streamer. The biggest problem with this for Ninja is not the money, even though of course money is nice to have. Ninja is competitive, and he wouldn't be where he is if he wasn't. The biggest problem is that he is no longer on top, and it upsets him.
I think the only thing that's frustrating is that when you are like, when you were the #1 streamer, man, but still are. When I'm actually streaming like full time, everyone's out to just look for the next guy now. At least on streaming wise, it's really annoying.
Hey guys, this video is brought to you by ProGuides.com. Go check them out. Not only did Tfue pass Ninja up and almost double his subs, His friend Tim the Tatman also passed him up. Summit 1G got his Twitch cred back with Sea of Thieves and passed him up. Shroud was always close to Ninja and finally passed him. And even Geek and Sundry beat out Ninja. Ninja isn't even in the top 5 on Twitch, and nobody would have guessed that would be the case even a few months ago. Now, Ninja did have some high-profile appearances, including being in a Super Bowl ad with some of the greatest NFL players of all time, so he was kept away from his real job of streaming, and even at one point went an entire week with streaming only once recently, which is unheard of for him. So what will Ninja do with this, and what will happen to him now? Know that the numbers he's if money is one of those motivating factors for him. 60 million views a month is still more than 99% of other YouTubers, and his over 30,000 subscribers still is more than like $100,000 per month. So in no way
Pin maintenance.
Well, if you have watched even 2 minutes of a Ninja stream over the last couple months, you can tell he is not his usual self. He has gone from the overly dramatic, yelling and screaming Ninja's hyper that used to jump around his room in excitement to a guy who sits pretty quietly in his chair and rarely smiles. I don't mean to make unfair assumptions, but he doesn't even seem to be enjoying himself anymore, which might explain the lack of streams lately. He doesn't react to donations or subs, and more so like mumbles parts of messages out of habit, and the worst of all is Ninja's face during his famous pon-pon dance. Ninja's pon-pon dance is iconic, it's unique, his viewers get hyped up, and even my own students at school know and will do the dance sometimes. But next time you catch a stream, watch Ninja's face and reaction to having to do the dance again and again. It's not even like I guess I'll have to do this again. It's more of like an anger, or just that he completely hates doing it anymore. He's not having any fun while doing what he used to find enjoyable, it seems. Even Ninja's friends seem to have lost some respect for him and don't mind giving him a hard time anymore, since he isn't as much of the famous untouchable Ninja. Pretty much calling him selfish, Tim the Tatman and Dr. Lupo get upset that Ninja doesn't kill himself, and even convinced FaZe Cloak to kill himself to test Ninja. Ninja wanted to continue the game and see if he could win, and they didn't like it. Ninja gets visibly upset, he lashes out at his friends, and I think I honestly might have done the same. Check it out.
Look, I'm winning this game. Be a good teammate. Do you guys know what a win streak is? Man, I remember when...
Listen, I wanted to play it, okay?
How dare you?
I got yelled at.
Grow a pair. What do you mean?
I got yelled at.
Dude, we survived, tilted, 2 of us left, and we are on a win streak. That's like, there's like rules to this, dude. Nothing's changed.
If you ever want to know what's hot in Fortnite, or just anything on YouTube or across Google, you can check out Google Trends. Here we see Ninja with a sudden rise to power almost a year ago, and has been on a decline ever since. Each month reaching what looks to be about a new low. Maybe like me, you were thinking, well, that could be because Fortnite as a whole has kind of gone down a bit, and you're right, but for a comparison, here's Tfue in the same time frame of the last 12 months with the sudden rise to power, but you can see he is trending upward. This is the talented competitive player Mongrel as well, hitting a huge peak recently and then still trending upwards regardless of whether Fortnite the game is doing well or not. I have a new competitive video of Mongrel coming out soon where ProGuides.com and me dive into what makes him so good, so be sure to check that out, as it might be out by the time you're watching this. Anyway, shameless plug over, the fact is that Ninja is dropping. He knows he's getting beat, and it shows in his personality. People started hating Ninja when he rose to fame, and I think most of it came from the fact that he has changed. He doesn't seem as humble anymore, not as goofy and open and kind. He doesn't let his real self show when he gets mad and wants to rage like the old times. Is it possible that just money changes people? An old saying is that money doesn't make you different or change you completely, but instead it brings out more of what you already are. If you are greedy, you'll become much more greedy. If you're generous, you'll become much more generous and giving to others. Maybe for Ninja's sake, if you are competitive and a little cocky, you'll take those to the extreme. And I think most people who knew him when he was blowing up are seeing a totally different person than what they found and enjoyed at first. I try to put myself in Ninja's shoes and see things from his perspective, and he was just a guy who grinded and worked hard for years. He had a small following from his competitive days in Halo, but never really was a top name or well known, besides for some of the off-the-wall stuff he did that was unique on his stream. Then all of a sudden, in like 2 months, you're the biggest streamer in the world. You are known by the developers of the game you play, and they ask you for advice, and you can't go to a grocery store without having to take pictures with kids. Famous rappers and athletes want you to play with them, and most importantly, the biggest change of all, you get millions of dollars piled on your lap. You start working twice the amount of hours to take advantage of the opportunity and make the best of it while you can. Your wife starts working long hours managing you. Sponsors start rolling in. You're in a Samsung commercial. You're in Super Bowl ads. You leave the home you lived in for years for something bigger and better, but you lost yourself somewhere along the way, and you know you aren't the same anymore. Could you possibly go back to who you were before you turn into a celebrity? And if you could, would you even want to? But then you see your numbers start to drop, and chat constantly asks you and teases you about it. Half of your donations coming in are about how somebody else is beating you, and they want to know your response. And your response is that you're upset about it because you want to try hard and be the best, but you can't say anything because then people will have that ammo to make YouTube compilations and take your words and twist them out of context to make you look bad. I don't personally envy Ninja's life right now, and I honestly don't want to see him go downhill. I just don't. I'll probably never talk to him, and especially if he sees a guy named That Denver Guy that made a video that is negative talking about him, then he definitely won't want to talk to me. So I'll just say what I honestly feel. Number one, I think people hate Ninja solely because he was the best for so long and had so much success. I am a Steelers fan, and I don't want to say this anymore. Not as goofy and open and kind. He doesn't let his real self show when he gets mad and wants to rage like the old times. Is it possible that just money changes people? An old saying is that money doesn't make you... I think I honestly might have done the same. Check it out.
Look, I'm winning this game. Be a good teammate. Do you guys know what a win streak is? Man, I remember when...
Listen, I wanted to play it, okay?
How dare you?
I got yelled at.
Grow a pair. What do you mean?
I got yelled at.
Dude, we survived, tilted, 2 of us left, and we are on a win streak. That's like, there's like rules to this, dude. Nothing's changed.
If you ever want to know what's hot in Fortnite or just anything like...
Nothing's changed. And we are on a win streak. That's like, there's like rules to this, dude.
Are you bang logging down?
If you ever want to know what's hot in Fortnite or just anything on YouTube or across Google, you can check out Google Trends. Here we see Ninja with a sudden rise to power almost a year ago and has been on a decline ever since. Each month reaching what looks to be about a new low. Maybe like me, you were thinking, well, that could be because Fortnite as a whole has kind of gone down a bit, and you're right, but for a comparison, here's Tfue in the same time frame of the last 12 months with the sudden rise to power, but you can see he is trending upward. This is the talented competitive player Mongrel as well, hitting a huge peak recently and then still trending upwards regardless of whether Fortnite the game is doing well or not. I have a new competitive video of Mongrel coming out soon where ProGuides.com and me dive into what makes him so good, so be sure to check that out as it might be out by the time you're watching this. Anyway, shameless plug over, the fact is that Ninja is dropping. He knows he's getting beat, and it shows in his personality. People started hating Ninja when he rose to fame, and I think most of it came from the fact that he has changed. He doesn't seem as humble anymore, not as goofy and open and kind. He doesn't let his real self show when he gets mad and wants to rage like the old times. Is it possible that just money changes people? An old saying is that money doesn't make you different or change you completely, but instead it brings out more of what you already are. If you are greedy, you'll become much more greedy. If you're generous, you'll become much more generous and giving to others. Maybe for Ninja's sake, if you are competitive and a little
Yelled at! Grow a pair! What do you mean? I got yelled at! Dude, we survived, tilted, 2 of us left. And we are on a win streak. That's like, there's like rules to this, dude. Nothing's changed. Listen, I wanted to play it, okay? How dare you? I got yelled at. Grow a pair. What do you mean? I got yelled at. Dude, we survived, tilted, 2 of us left, and we are on a win streak. That's like, there's like rules to this, dude. Nothing's changed.
If you ever want to know what you love, change years. Want to? He is hands down the best quarterback we have ever seen play football. And in a few years after retirement, we will all agree on that. But for now, he is massively successful. He just won another Super Bowl and people hate him because, in my opinion, he always wins. It's human nature, apparently, just as any singer that got too big too fast like Justin Bieber or Halsey. Number 2. I don't think Ninja will ever come near the success he had in March, April, and May of 2018. And I think he knew it for a while. In an interview, he said he is being smart with his money and even said himself that it can't last forever. I respect that. And he will adjust to not being a worldwide celebrity again, probably over the next year. Number 3, and the last one I'll say before I shut up and say too much, is that Ninja hands down carried himself better than probably any other gamer that would have achieved that kind of fame. Go to most gaming conventions, they literally hand out deodorant and post warnings about showering before you show up. No offense to Tifu, but imagine Tifu on CNBC or explaining to Ellen what a peen scrim is, or Dr. Disrespect shouting Raul at the host. It'd be funny and entertaining, but would paint gaming in the negative light that entire generations above us see it as. Ninja was respectful, he was well-spoken, he carried a surprisingly good conversation with everybody that I've seen him talk to in interviews and stuff. I have never had so many parents of my students come up to me that genuinely want to know what being a streamer or a YouTuber is about and how they can get their kids started, which is way better than every adult telling me growing up that gaming is a waste of time. Maybe moms will stop asking us to pause our online games. Who knows? Click like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts down below. Leave a comment. Just tell me. I read most of them. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Love, Denver.
Why does it stop sprinting like that?